be well supervised, take very good advice.
I was born in Burntwood, which is where I live at the moment with my parents and my sister. Lived there all my life. Burntwood is in Staffordshire, which is about 4 miles from Lichfield. I went to school in Burntwood and Chasetown. The first one was Sprinkle Middle School, and then moved up to the Chasetown High School. Left there at the age of 16, went into my first job, which was an office junior. My sister started gymnastics at an early age. By the time I was 6, I decided I wanted to follow her footsteps. I went along for trials, then I had to wait a week to see if I'd actually got in. I was over the moon when I received the letter. I did it for 10 years, competed abroad, Bulgaria, Belgium, Germany, and all over the country. I was very talented at gymnastics. I'm so sorry I gave up at an early age. Trained in the British squad at the age of 12. I used to train at Lilleshall, which was like a pit, a dome. Trained there with top British coaches, and I trained there every Tuesday. You had to be picked to train in this squad. I trained about 4 or 5 times a week actually, and on a Sunday sometimes we trained for 8 hours a day. It was very intense training, but that's all I ever did when I was young. I went to school, a bit of a rebel at school actually, and then went training, and that was it. I was very dedicated to gymnastics. I gave up at the age of 15 actually. The reason was because all my friends would always say, oh come out, you know, we're going to this disco, it's really good, you'll like it. And for a long time I kept refusing, I was saying no, I have to go training. And they knew that I had to go training anyway in gymnastics. And the one night I thought, well okay, just to shut them up I'll go, find out what it's like, see how it goes. And I really enjoyed myself when I got back. And then after that I found out I was trying to skive more nights off training to go out to discos, and I started meeting boys. And that was it really. I found I enjoyed myself more out of gymnastics than what I did while I was training. But that is one thing that I do regret out of life. I should never again. Since I've started Gladiators, I've actually had to try and retrain myself on my gymnastics. It hasn't been too hard because I've always been quite flexible, quite supple, quite strong. I still work out in the gym. I do about an hour a day, but I've cut that down to 4 days a week now. I still do the aerobics, and after each workout I do try to stretch the muscle to the maximum, just so I do keep my flexibility. My diet's normally quite good. I try to eat healthy, but my one downfall has to be chocolate. I'm terrible with chocolate. Us gladiators have to stay fit for various reasons. This year the contenders are a lot more stronger. They're very powerful, and they have quite a lot of stamina too. One of the games that we have is quite rough, but we all enjoy it, especially the gladiators. It was only last night we played Powerball. I had a scratch from one of the contenders and also a nosebleed. Not quite sure how that happened, but I didn't actually feel it at the time, but the only thing that distracted me was the blood that was coming out of the nose. I was determined to get back for revenge. I think the message to all my gladiator fans is to keep healthy, keep sporty, but the main thing is to enjoy the sport.